Yeah, even I barely know what's going on right now. Hello everyone, I'm Luxin, and welcome back to the final bonus episode of Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles X. Last time, we did a few things, one request, and a couple other loose ends, basically, in the file of the game I used for the Let's Play. This episode, however, is on a completely different file. This is actually my original file of the game from my first playthrough. I do have one nearly complete file and one just started file besides these, but I wanted to go back to my original one. As you can see, the character design I went with is a little different, but it does sort of look like it could still be an older version of the character I used in the Let's Play, so that's why I'm saying, oh, it's a year later and he just changed his MIM for that. Stuff like that. But, as you can see, I'm using an Ares 90. Yeah, in this file, I actually had the stuff where I was able to build one. And as you saw before, it's a very powerful scale. That wasn't even the slightest. Also, I have Alexa, Nagi, and Bose with me, presumably because they need to be leveled up. And I'm in the middle of the Divine Napapan quest, which I literally... It's been probably a year since I last played this file, so I have no idea what I'm actually doing. But I'm going to finish the rest of the objectives and then show off just a couple other things that I didn't get to. And for now, we need to go to Caldros' old ceremonial hollow, which I'm not sure we were at the Let's Play, but this is just a showcase anyway, so I'm okay with not explicitly navigating there. Oh no, just what I feared. Something where we need to go inside. That's not good. Well, you know what is good? The fact that I actually have this build. If you look, the actual... Okay, I swapped to Psycho Launchers and Spear just to screw around with my ground gear last time I played, but if you look at this stuff, not only do I have potential up and potential boost, so my potential set is tiny right now for some reason. But, oh, yeah, it's the other augments that are built in. It's like, max TP up. I have 6,600 max TP right now. Oops. Ah, go back, go back, go back. Okay. The important thing is, the reflect augments. Reflect physical, reflect electric, reflect thermal, reflect ether, and reflect gravity. The way all of these augments work is, when you use an art that causes the character to reflect a certain element of damage, there are ones for each of them, it will also reflect the element on this augment. So I have reflects right now for gravity, ether, thermal, electric, and physical. Which means, the instant I use a beam reflect art, I will reflect every element of damage. Yeah. And if I actually switch to... this is probably my main assault rifle. Is there anything that even increases... Okay. Yeah, nothing even has augments in it, so I'm going to assume that's the one. And switch from Spear to Photon Saber. And I'm guessing it's going to be this one, because that one has the weapon attack and melee accuracy up. But let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty sure that's it. And then, let's see, did it auto do my arts? Did not auto do my arts. That's not good. I don't actually remember the arts I had on this, but well, if I were to wager a guess, it would be all the ones that are maxed out. Actually, no, where is... Okay, I know it was Essence Exchange. I know it involved... Not Geolibrium. Astrolibrium, there's the Reflect Beam. Let's exchange Astrolibrium. Definitely Furious Blast. Probably the Starfalls. Oh, I did not mean that. Sure, we'll put Grenade Blitz there. Starlight Duster, Starfall Blade. Move you there. No, get rid of Grenade Blitz, because I know I need Infuriate. That's the one I know as a fact I need. So we do that, then... Blossom Blade Rondo Duster. Okay. So we'll show off what this ground build can do later on. Actually, no, we have to show it off right now because we're doing this. But basically, it's the win games button. It might take a certain long amount of time because of how bad my actual attacking stats are, but this isn't the build I used to ultimately defeat the Rexoscale in this fight. I used a different broken one. But what you want to do is get TP, then use Essence Exchange. Oh, they hit me while I was using Essence Exchange. We'll fix that in a second. Don't worry. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it. I just kept using Essence Exchange with 0 TP, so it insta-killed me. Basically, as long as they don't hit you before the aura goes off, you're completely invincible. Now, let's see if I can get through these guys. I don't want to fight people as much as possible, just because I want to make sure I have TP for the fight against whatever Napon Sage we're going up against, because I'm assuming that's what's going on here. But you want to have enough TP to both Aura and Overdrive. So if I open with Essence Exchange, then Aura, then Overdrive. I also have a bunch of augments that power up Overdrive, so it lasts longer and stuff. Which means I don't have to worry about the Overdrive counter for a little bit, and anytime I want to boost it, I just need to use the Aura again with a high enough counter, and it instantly adds stuff. Plus, I'm gaining TP so fast, and I can throw in more Essence Exchanges, where I get infinite Overdrive, basically, by fighting, normally. It's ridiculous. This is far from the most OP strat possible with this, but it's up there. We'll go with that. Especially because, well, the biggest reason that this isn't a particularly broken build as of now is because my weapons are bad and I don't have a lot of potential, because potential could heavily amp the power of my Starlight Dusters. And in fact, the highest augments I have, I think, are, what do you call it? Melee accuracy boost, so I can actually hit the stuff I'm fighting. But also, I activated Overdrive in such a weird way that it didn't cut to where Fleegan at all. It's still playing Black Tar despite the fact that I'm in Overdrive. And I don't even remember, actually, if, okay, reactivating Overdrive doesn't even fix it. I'd have to lose and then regain it, which isn't very helpful. Also, I died. I don't know why the aura didn't work there. That's weird. There we go. I must have somehow let the aura run out last time. Maybe it's not leveled up as much as I thought it was, and it didn't last particularly long. But that was another really, really easy fight. So we defeated the Divine Nipopon, and it's another recolor of the other thing. But, yeah, apparently we're getting blessings on a stone, a Napon stone relic thing. I don't actually remember what the source of this quest was. It's a normal mission, so it's not anything for someone's affinity mission or whatever, but, I don't know. We're doing it. There's one more sage left. I don't remember which continent it was. I think it was Sylvlum off the top of my head. But once we're done with this, we could show off a few other things. Just a few. Once it lets me fast travel. There we go. Alright, our last incarnate Napon Sage is inside Sylvlum's Key Hollows, which is a place that I can get through easily with the Ares 90. Like, even these big quos aren't any big deal. That Z-Dom actually probably isn't either, because of the Ares 90 signature art. A Gossera Cannon. Yeah, that's a level 74 Z-Dom Tyrant. It's dead now. Yeah, a Gossera Cannon uses up a lot of fuel, but it can also do that, so, you know. I'm actually just going to use my weaker arts. Vajra Flail. That wasn't Vajra Flail, that was Avatar Missile. You'll notice that these are actually the arts Lao used in the fight against the Prague Ares, which doubly makes this cooler. The other thing is, you'll notice that I do only have 4 arts. That's because the Ares 90 can't be altered in any way, besides just... Also, there's your Nupopon. The Ares 90 cannot be altered in terms of equipable weapons that give arts. You can only change its augments. And as such, you only get 4 arts with it, but the 4 arts you get are all ridiculously powerful. As you can see, I only took like 1 damage from that there. From the boss of this quest. It's kind of broken, I think. Good broken, though. This is your reward for doing all of the shit. Not really all the shit. Obviously, I didn't 100% this file, but... The Ares 90 is really hard to get. Ares 70 is a lot easier, but it is weaker. Anyway, that's the Divine Nupopon. Sure, we'll go along. I'm not even sure what's happening right now. I really wish I probably should have read whatever the Divine Nopopon quest was in the first place, so I would have, like, known what I was supposed to be doing. But we got Nopon Ghosts dancing. That's all I got. We need to see something through to the end. And then, haha, same funny jokey joke as last time. Okay. We did that, and now I know that the Divine Nopopon mission got upgraded. I would assume we have to go back to Noctilum somewhere. Okay, just to the Whale's Weeper. That's easier than I thought. Yeah, back to Potter's Rock. This is almost like going back to Shooting Star Basin in a way. It's where you first enter Noctilum and all that fun stuff. But, see, even these big Simii in here aren't a big deal. And with the flight module, we can just go through here. There's also 2 Tyrants here. There's 3 Tyrants here. None of these are Tyrant segments, so it's not worth killing them. But let's talk to the Nopopon. See what he has to do. And just see what he's about. If he received the final blessing, then show the stone to him. Okay. See Ancient Nopon's script. That says... It's just... Okay, so apparently we're supposed to figure out the origin of the Nopon, but instead it's just guidelines for Nopon life about being Nopon stuff. Was this just a Shaggy Dog story or something? Okay, is this just my reward? Oh, Sword of Spirits. Is this a special longsword? Legendary Nopoponus / X. That is a reference to the first game. We also got the Legendary Nopopopopopopopopon, which I'm gonna assume is a longsword. We'll see what that thing's stats are, at least. Where is it? It is very weak, but can be upgraded quite a lot. It's just a physical sword. Actually, I want to see what it looks like. Oh, it's actually just a sword. But it has 3 surprisingly good augments built into it, as well as 3 empty slots, so it can be useful, even though, let's be real, it probably isn't going to. But this gives us a segue to head back to NLA. Maybe get this upgraded a little bit at L's shop, and see what things are new for us there. Although we also apparently have to talk to Shin here to actually finish the quest and get both Angel and Devil gear. And actually, while we're here, I'll talk about another weapon. Because I hinted about being able to unlock new Skell frames for clearing the final affinity missions of 3 of the 4 DLC party members. Alexa gives you one, Bose gives you one, and HB gives you one. I'll show off what those look like in Armory Alley later, but Yelv will instead give a ranged weapon of a new class, the Multigun. There's only one of these in the game, and it's this, the Delta Bliss. It's not a very good actual weapon, and the arts it comes with aren't particularly interesting, but this can be used in any class, and gives you, let's see, 4 arts. So you can have 4 arts for it. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any greens, any purples, or, well, yeah, it can't have reds because it's a... Well, no, assault rifle does. But it has no green, purple, or red, so it's just 3 yellow, 1 blue. You get cannon barrel, gravity topple, boost damage and range combos, missile barrel, enemies ahead, electric and shock, boost damage with an aura, sniper barrel, ether damage, inflicts stun on shock targets, and boost barrel, reduces secondary cooldown, auto attack intervals, and boosts potential. This is actually a decent aura, but I don't think it's worth running multi-gun just for it unless the rest of your entire build is longsword, which you can't really do since Ghostwalker is one of the more OP things. Just Ghostwalker and Infinite Overdrive getting it so often that you can't get hit at all. And while these 3 combo into each other reasonably well, they're not the greatest in the world. But it's time to go to L's shop. Okay, I didn't actually finish HB's mission, but, HB and Bose's, but for Alexa's you get this, the US 0860 Excavator, which is a different level 60 skill. Kind of weaker than a lot of these, unfortunately. Yeah. In terms of just raw damage output, I believe the Mastema is the best in terms of, like, one-shotting super bosses, but I have a particularly decked out Ares 90 that can't do things as quickly, but still does the job. Anyway, you might notice we have a party member that we didn't get in the main game. Yeah, remember how I said that there was a Mia quest in Caldros that I didn't think we'd ever get to do?
Step right up.
Well, it requires Definian Downfall, all of Mia's other 4 quests, and a couple other things, including fighting an even more powerful level 60 boss of the same power tier as the Rexoscale, but once you do all that, and achieve a 60% survey rate in Caldros, you can accept a side quest where Mia can join the party. She is the final party member. It's actually pretty cool, especially since she doesn't even have any voice parts up through the end of the side quest you get her in. She does have an affinity mission, but that's the only time you hear her voice outside of battle, so they completely hide the fact that she's playable unless you do a lot of work. She also has her own light scale, which I believe, it's named Tenuviel because I think I named every non-Ares scale in this file after something Tolkien related. But let's at least check out the Nopon sword thing and see what that does. The legendary Nop-Op-Op-Op-On. Can I add more slot? Did I hit the wrong button? What are the upgrades for, then? Oh. I forgot that that wasn't at L's shop. I am stupid. Well... It's in here. I'm a genius. Alright, let's see. You can't... Oh. This is a screen that you've never seen before. Basically, you use items to upgrade stuff like this. Unfortunately, you can only get one of them to 15. There's only one of these in the game, so I'm not going to mess around with it. But just know that that's there, and that that's a thing you can do. Now, you know how I mentioned that stuff about super bosses before? Well, how about I actually fight some of them? That seems like a decent idea. Wait, is that the same weapon I was using before? Melee accuracy, weapon attack. Sucker up a beam thing. Sure. We'll go with that. I'll assume that's the one I was using. I know the gun's right, at least. We're gonna keep Mia with us, but, let's just take Alma and Lynn for old time's sake and see what skeleton... If I even have level 60 skells for them. We'll go with that, actually. Oh, yeah, in terms of barracks customization, when you hit Blade level 10... you get a bunch of new wall decals. So we've seen all these before. There's also just kanji for God and Machine, which go pretty well in hand with the themes of the game. This adorable thing that I've been using, the Welcome to Blade thing, with a robot Tatsu for some reason, but also just adorable versions of Alma and Lynn. Nopon Pop Idol. Chibi Skells, which is also great. There's also that. This is what Lynn was talking about when she wrote Skell fanfiction, I'm pretty sure. art of the X, which is the X from Xenogears, the X from the Xenogears logo, that was also originally used as the working title for this game. Poster for the Mimiya Zone Maintenance Center, a bunch of just posters. That guy looks surprisingly like my avatar. Earth. As well as, I believe you get these for... No, because I have all... No, I don't have all of them. So I guess you get these for maxing out each AM. And then just... The last ones on the list are numbers for some reason, but I'm going to go back to that one. And as you can see, I think... Yeah, I didn't really upgrade. I didn't really change any of this that much. And do I have... Okay, I have that. I have the Zoofarg for some reason. I also didn't know that the decal showed up there too, which is new. I guess I don't really look around that room much. Anyway, Skells. Okay, it turns out I actually only have 4 level 60 Skells. One of them was the Excavator, which wasn't touched at all. One of them was a work in progress. I think Tenuviel itself is actually level 50. So, yeah, my party members aren't going to do anything. It's mostly just going to be the Ares 90. But we'll have people there at least. I don't really know. I don't know what to say here. The Excavator is still just the Excavator. Alessar is the other level 60 heavy Skell. The thing is, if you're curious about the way I actually named them, I was stupid and thought that Skells would be like this incredible overpowered thing for the entire game, and the one you got with you would grow with you and stuff. Because I kind of blew my load a little early and named the original level 21 Erendil. So it was kind of hard to come up with names that would, like, one-up that for the more powerful one. So I ended up, I think I have, a Tarambar as a level 30. There's probably one called Balrog, probably a Grand in there somewhere. I know as a fact that, like, my main level 51 was Mithrandir, which, you know, that makes sense. Anyway, let's start flying places. First off, I believe, is around here, is something that's technically a super boss. And it's not the Zedom, surprisingly. This is just a Lord Zedom. It's actually a regular enemy. But once we get away from this, assuming we get out of range before that hits, okay. I'm not positive where, especially because they're not really showing up on the map very well, or, you know, at all. It's down here? No, that's just an Oxerve. Let's get like a dead Oxerve over there. It's actually not even level 60. Okay. I'm gonna just internet this for a second. Once we get away. Rather unsurprisingly, I was just looking in the wrong place, and actually, is it still the wrong place? No, here. Nahum the Red Hare is only level 66, but just wait. If you get her HP down to 25%, she uses her Overhack art, which, in a minute, she's killing Nardacion, and summons the second Almandal and the only other one in the game besides Goetia, Nardacion the Shadowless, a super boss, and not one that I can particularly hit very hard even with my Ares 90, basically because I have a lot of opening art augments in it, which mean that my first art's going to be very powerful, but my other ones not so much. I'm not even sure if I've actually beaten it with this Ares 90 setup, and I can swap to ground worst case. But, well, okay, here I got a second Agasso cannon, which would be very useful. And as you can see, it's doing a pretty big number on all the other Skells in the party already. I'm hoping I can at least get to show off the armor, or the overdrive for the Ares 90, though it doesn't really look like I'm going to because of how low my GP is right now. It's also got Almandal Photon. Now remember, this Ares 90 setup isn't built at all for handling this fight, so just because I might lose here doesn't necessarily mean that this is a bad setup. It's specifically built for fighting a couple other bosses that we'll see later on. Also, I believe she just activated a huge spike, which is going to be the main problem. Okay, no, it went away. Is that a... Yeah, there goes the Ares 90, basically. In fact... Yeah, it just got destroyed. However, I did perfect that And I forgot to set my arts back, so I'm going to get destroyed in a second. Yep. Even in post-game, I'm heading back to the barracks. I did get rid of Elma and Lynn just to make the screen a little less cluttered when fighting in the Ares 90. And I think now would be a good time to actually go over what gear I have in it. As you can see, this took a long time to grind up all these augments. It's just based on materials, and a lot of things were stuff that I needed to one-shot with the weaker Agasora cannon from the unedited Ares 90. So I ended up spending a lot of time in Moranium just refueling, but you do need 100,000 Moranium in order to even build it in the first place, so I had a huge capacity. Anyway, I have tons of ether resin here in all the armor, and attribute damage ether in the frame. As you can see here, you cannot apply changes to the scale at all besides augments. I've also got some range accuracy up, as well as... I don't know why I have a couple Theroid Slayers and not all Ultra Fauna. Actually, do I even have more Ultra Fauna? Yeah, I'll just replace all the Theroids with Ultra Fauna. Basically, this scale is designed to have an incredibly powerful opening art. Actually, do I not have opening art? Okay, that's interesting. I thought I had opening art, but I didn't. Okay, it looks like we'll give it one Theroid because I don't have enough Ultra Fauna to go around. But it resists ether, deals heavy ether damage, and yeah, I guess there isn't anything for opening art in here, which I guess because opening art's probably the broken thing you use in other builds. But as you can see, the scale is specifically built to kill Ultra Fauna type enemies. Now, there are only 4 of those in the game. Let's fight one that we haven't seen before. If you take flight in the southern area of Sylvalum and head north, or not head north, head up, you'll notice, eventually, if I get tall enough, there's a waterfall falling out of a gap in the Noctilucent sphere. You head inside here, you'll find out that it's hollow, and this is actually an area. It contains the most powerful Visigels in the game, as far as I know. But it also contains one of the strongest super bosses, the level 97 Farsis the Everqueen. Now, we're going to fight her first, and then look up her bestiary entry. Oh, you know, honestly, I thought this build was designed to one-shot her, so this could be a problem. It might be one-shotting with overdrive, which would make sense to me, but this might go badly. Especially because I don't have overdrive. We'll see how this goes then.
I need healing. This is more than my scalp can take. Vadra Flail! Sometimes you have to be reckless. Close it! Agasora Cannon!
Yeah, the build was definitely designed to be a one-shot when I have overdrive, so that was a bit of a mistake. Okay, not going to fight Farsis, because that's not what we were here for, but I will look up her in the enemy index. If we search by category and then go into Ultra Fauna, you'll see 2 types of species. Igrolith, which Farsis counts as, and Telethia, so I think you already know who we're going to be fighting next. Farsis the Everqueen's in here. While Nardacion did not drop items, Farsis will, and some of these are used for things, although again, the other Igrolith items that are specifically needed for crafting skeleton stuff are from Igrolith 0, which is whatchamacallit, a global nemesis, which is a special type of enemy that you can only fight in online missions, although you can solo it, you do need to be connected to the internet and do online missions for it. I won't be covering that in the Let's Play, but there are weaker versions of both Farsis and Telethia called Igrolith 0, which I think is level 60, and Telethia Plume, which is only level 30, and that's where you get those items from. But let's just take a look at the Igrolith description. Hailing from the depths of outer space, these creatures can strip the ether from entire regions before storing it in their dorsal spines to facilitate interstellar travel. Any lucky inhabitants of planets they encounter are also devoured down to the very last organism. When this destructive rampage is finished, they set off in search of the next planet. Though extremely rare, Igrolith do at times come into contact with one another. The ensuing battles spell doom for any planet unfortunate enough to be in the vicinity. This is important, because with better builds than I've been using, you can one-shot Farsis the Everqueen. This explicitly states that Igrolith are planet level. I'm doing Rex versus Cross versus Shulk. Cross is explicitly more powerful than these Igrolith. You thought Cross was going to go down like a chump in that fight. That's all that I'm saying. And it is nice that, because the Telethia is like the guardian of all life on Mira, and that there is an Igrolith that's trying to destroy the ecosystem slowly from within. But presumably the Telethia is stopping it. Anyway, we'll go down to the Telethia here, just to get a little look at it. Said to be Mira's guardian and color of unclean life forms, the Telethia is also known as the ruler of fates. It is rumored to have mind-reading abilities that make it virtually invincible, a theory strengthened by the fact that it has never been defeated in combat. As if that wasn't enough, the creature's vast wings also have the ability to amplify and manipulate ether in the surrounding atmosphere. So yeah, it's pretty strong, and we're gonna have to fight it with just the Ares 90. I'm gonna need to do some overdrive building up first. Alright, I've just shy of enough GP for an overdrive, which is okay because I don't need to rely on my opening art anymore. Anyway, Telethia the Endbringer.
Don't underestimate them.
Shoot it once, kick it into overdrive mode, Legion. Deal more damage, 0 fuel expulsion, a bunch of good stuff. That's a bit better than it was doing against Farsis. And I believe you deal more damage and take less damage, so it's double good. Also, I got one-shotted. What the hell happened there? Okay. That's bad.
I can still do this alone.
I need to figure out where I screwed up there. You know what the problem was, and why I had one missing Ultra Fauna? At some point, when I wasn't going for killing Telethia, I got rid of my Reflect Neg Ether 20. Telethia has an Ether Reflect. That's what was killing me. You know, I'm such a genius that I only just now realized that the Ares, both Ares skells have the overdrive mode Legion, because Roman God of War, Roman Legion, actually kind of makes sense now. I'm a genius. I'm also an idiot. I also forgot to overdrive, but, you know, that's probably not going to screw me over in the long run, assuming I can catch up to the thing. It's got Reflect Elements, which, okay, clearly didn't reflect everything, but as you can see, with the amount of ether... Oh. Oops. Okay, when it reflects elements, I'm supposed to only use ether attacks, because, like, not the other arts. Okay, that was the problem. I'm smart. I'm still falling. And the weather... Okay, That was weird. Alright, take 3. Remember to not overdrive, or not a Gossera Cannon until after I overdrive. And to not use non-ether attacks, i.e. everything that isn't a Gossera Cannon and the ranged auto attack, I think. And Agni's okay, I guess, because that's thermal, that's physical. Yep. Okay, so don't use any non-ranged darts when it has the Omni Reflect up. And then I should be able to win. Hopefully. Most of its attacks are ether-based. It does have a few that aren't, but through my own soul heals, I should be able to come back from the brink of that. Also, there we go. There we go. Big cannon. Big cannon. So it's now using Reflect Elements, which means that it will reflect everything. So as long as I don't use anything that's not ether, I should be okay. Because, again, Sedative Mind, well, that time it missed, but it is an ether art. So is multi-ether laser. As you can see, my ether res is so high that I only take 1 damage for most ether attacks. And I was even able to get rid of an appendage pretty easily. I believe this is phase 2 of the fight now. Because, no, it's still taking damage, so this is not phase 2. Yeah, this is a multi-phase fight, and while it is possible with the use of a Skell just for transportation to fight it completely on foot, if you have a good enough build, which people have ones that can defeat it before getting into another phase or anything like that. But, this does take you from the air to the ground, to the air again. This is really good final, like, true final boss fight, this basically is, because it was foreshadowed in the story, so it's not just a super boss. Let's see. It's invincible right now, which means that we're going into phase 2. Also, you might notice, the design of this Telethia is a little different from the ones in the first game, just in terms of body structure. Obviously, it's retextured to match the other art style, or to match X's art style and stuff, and all that kind of thing. I know it does change in between the phases of the fight. I don't remember how, though. As you can see, I am still gaining TP from the shots I land on it. Now, thankfully, unlike the Avalanche Abyssy in the original game, also, it can clip through the scenery, as you see. Unlike the Avalanche Abyssy, there isn't a chance of another super boss joining the fight in the middle of this battle, which is, quite frankly, a godsend. Because, you know, that would be awful fighting Telethia in, say, Pharsis or something. But I guess its defenses must be going lower at this point. Because, well, it is attacking in elements that aren't ether, so I'm taking damage. But its defenses were a lot lower there if the Adagastor Cannon was able to do so much damage. As you can see there, the tail swing was very clearly physical. And that did knockback, so that must have been stuff too. Assuming that Vajra Flail is safe now. Okay, I'm missing everything. It must have put up its decoy, which I believe is decoy 50. So it will be immune to 50 attacks. Or no, it's taking damage again already. That's a good sign. Don't remember what I'm supposed to be doing next, and... Okay, you're going back to ether attacks, that's good. Alright, that's a topple and draining GP, which is... Okay, it looks... Okay, that's a shock, that's the hard one. I screwed up a soul voice somewhere. Okay. As you can see, it's actually possible, because I got it that low. Things are sort of coming back to me now, and I think the big secret is to actually kill it in the second phase before it goes decoy mode and takes back to the air, so it's dead before it has a chance to use its most powerful non-ether attacks. Which seems to make sense, and it looks like I have good luck here because I'm getting the double Agastor Cannon right off the bat with the cockpit mode there. I got it down to half health already. We're in phase 2 now, within the first overdrive. Like, I'm not actually sure it even got the reflect up this time, which is kind of amazing. I am gonna get close with this blade here to see. Well, it's invincible, so it's not gonna reflect anything anyway, I guess. That's the thing. Agni Gatling is a huge amount of hits, so once it goes into decoy mode, Agni Gatling is particularly good for that in terms of all of its arts. Or all of the Ares 90 arts, at least. Let's see. You're still invincible? Oh, no, you are... It is, in fact, very invincible. Let's see, Aware. I forget what Aware does. Oh, there's Topple. That's bad. It's the combination of the Topple and that Collider X that's the real big deal, because it also inflicts Shock, which does huge damage over time. It must be in decoy now, I guess. I need to perfect those soul voices if I want to do anything, because the next damage over time is going to kill me. Yep. And there goes insurance. Thankfully, the Ares 90 has 10 insurance instead of just 3, and I have only used a couple on this file so far, so I'll be back in the game pretty quickly. There we go, another double Agastor Cannon. I just need to be really on point with my soul voices, and I should be fine. Also, you might have not been able to see there, but the art it used was Reflect Photon, which is where that's its Ether Reflect art, basically. And also, yeah, touching it will launch because it's a big thing. Alright, my overdrive's out. Do kind of want to build up TP, just in case you get a second overdrive. I don't really know if I'll be that lucky, but let's see. I can get a boost on the Agni Gatling at least. Yeah, there's the slow art, that's another big boy. Then there's a tail swipe. Then there's the big Shocky Shock. I didn't get a soul voice for that, that's not good. Oh, that's good. That's actually really good. I am missing because most of my accuracy augments went into the ranged and not the melee. But, well, yeah, see, the Agni Gatling is actually landing, and it's a slow arts counter spike, which is new. I didn't remember that was what the spike was, but that's what it is. Okay. Getting you pretty low. It would be nice if you went into decoy mode right about now. Tail swing missed there, that's good. Does have the claw attack, which is another somewhat of an issue. There we go, I got a perfect on that, that's good. Although, did you just charge up another tail swing? I'm kind of scared. I'm really scared. Like, another Agni Gatling might get it in range for phase 3. Or I could die again, god damn it. Alright, I actually did myself the favor of installing the 3 ranged attack up combat probes in the 3 segments in the Divine Roost. Now, those do affect the entire continent, I believe, that they're used in, so that's not really a big deal. But there are 2 very good combat support probe sites in the Divine Roost, and I was able to get, like, a 3-probe link up to make them even more effective. So, as you can see, my Gossaur Cannon is doing even more ridiculous damage, and, well, yeah, it's descending again like it was last time, but, you know. Again, if the overdrive hasn't run out, actually, maybe I'm not supposed to overdrive until later. That might make the most sense. Because then I can, like, overdrive to get invincibility when I start taking more damage later. That might be what's going wrong, too. I'm not sure. It also turns out I do only have 4 insurance left on this Ares 90 after screwing up this time. So, you know, that's a problem. Anyway. That's not as much TP gain as I'd like to see. That's good, that's good. Cockpit's always good. Unfortunately, I'm only dodging the ether laser, and not, like, the big super death attack. Also, when are you gonna let me use Gossaur Cannon? There we go. No, or I could get toppled again. See, if you're using this strat, you could just get comboed to death. I'm gonna probably die now because of the shock damage, if anything. Like, unless I get another cockpit. Now, yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Definitely not with the slow arts I just got. Like, unless you go into decoy... Nope. I'm gonna try saving the overdrive next time. Alright, new strat. I can survive easily in the air, but the ground is what's killing me. So, if I overdrive on the ground, then I don't die. That seems reasonably sound, at least. Problem is, I don't actually remember what strat this build was supposed to go for when I originally made it. So, that's why I'm floundering around here. It's been so long since I've played with this build that I don't actually remember how I'm supposed to be using it. Which is why I'm having so much trouble. It's not that this build doesn't work for killing Telethia, it's that I don't remember how to use this build to kill Telethia. Which is a bit of a big difference. So now we just have to wait for the bigger arts to charge up again, because I think its Reflect is still going. Although, yeah, I'm only taking my 1 damage. I'll savor this as long as it lasts, because it's not going to last very long. Also, the Ares 90's Ares M Blaster has a surprisingly good TP gain for a ranged weapon in general, which is another just general nicety. There we go, we popped the appendage, which... Are you descending now? Okay. So it's easy enough to make it descend with without any sort of real trouble, actually. So I can overdrive the instant I start seeing it do anything more dangerous. And we'll just target the other wing there. See if that makes it drop something interesting. And then do want to not descend sprint descending, so you know the instant it becomes vulnerable again. And actually, my Gastar Cannon isn't fully charged up yet, so I'm gonna hold off either until I start taking significant damage, or until it's charged up to pop overdrive. There's a tail swipe that did a decent amount. I'm healing up a bit, although I did just get toppled there. Which, I think I got double toppled. Oh, shit, I should have overdrived instantly. I just realized that that took away a bunch of GP. Okay. Mistakes were made. At least I know what I'm doing next time. I guess that's just the theme of this in general. At least I know what to do next time. Unless I could somehow salvage... Also, Slothy has its own battle theme, which is pretty nice. Unless I could somehow salvage enough TP, or enough GP out of this to do it, but I think you're doing the zappy zap zap. Yep, I'm dead. Okay. I don't even remember what take I'm on at this point. Alright, smart overdrive knowledge attempt. Let's go. Give him the big cannon. Give him the side Gatling, which is good. Let's see, you got the Reflect Photon out, so unfortunately I can't just spam my other arts. Which, I think I... Okay, I guess the blade is Ether too, because I didn't take damage from using it there. Did I? Nope. Okay, so I guess the blade's Ether too, which is good to know, good to know. Although, I think one more Agni Gatling will get it into prime go down territory. Laser. I don't remember what Gatling's charge time is, but it's got to be, I think it might be 30 seconds. That makes sense to me, at least. Alright, let's see. Alright, aware. That happened. I don't know exactly how long it takes for it to descend. I guess it can also depend on where you are when you initiate the fight, because it usually tends to go down to the exact same place every time. Yeah, I'm gonna... Should I try getting there before it? I don't know if it's the best idea. Alright, whatever. I'm down here. Alright. Is it Vincible again? It is Vincible again. Which means it's overdrive time. I just canceled the overdrive by mistake. I just screwed myself again. You know what? I'm going to run away this time. I'm going to do the smart thing. Oh, never mind. I got toppled. I'm going to get screwed. I did this to myself. This time I did it to myself.
This is wearing me down. I need healing. They're pushing me back.
Alright.
That hurts.
Yeah, I'm the one getting topple locked. Usually it's the enemy you do that to in Xenoblade games.
This is more than my spell can take. That hurts.
And I got toppled again, so I'm gonna get dead super fast. Super dead super fast.
That hurts.
The topple actually wore off while I was in the air. And then got itself renewed. This Telethia is something special. There's a reason it's the ruler of fates and the Endbringer, while also being the guardian of all life in the world somehow. Not entirely sure how that works, but it's something to be feared, that's for sure. Alright, I actually managed to get away, and instead of even reloading the Joker area at all, you know what I did? I just killed the Leviaths around there, including a Tyrant, that I was able to use to grind up GP on, so we're back in relatively good position. Also, I think you get additional damage for being above, like, considered high above the enemy, but that's really hard to do with something flying this high, so not gonna bother doing that. Although, I do want to at least get this Agni from the side. There we go.
We're in a good position. Move in.
And then we wait. Alright, doing the multi-ether laser. But while we're waiting this time, it's worth noting that while I am using a decked out Skell for this, a ground build, if it's properly optimized, can be far more powerful than even a ridiculously powerful Ares 90 that you're seeing right here. Skell builds have a damage cap. Their Skells in general have a damage cap. Fighting on foot has no such cap. So, already, you can see why that's a big deal. But also, on foot, you have the notion of the infinite overdrive on foot, which is also really, really powerful. And there is no such thing as a Skell infinite overdrive because there's always a chance that you'll drop it every time it goes to reset itself on a Skell. Add to that the general bigger diversity, the fact that you could double charge and triple charge arts, stuff like that, and there are many, many ground builds that can outclass even the most powerful Skell. Even though at that point, it's really all relative because a lot of things can one-shot or brutalize super bosses like this. And yeah, I wouldn't even consider this one of the stronger anti-super boss strats. Obviously, based on the fact that I've died so many times. There are ways where you can completely skip phases of this fight in Skell, and a bunch of other ridiculous things that I'm really not that good enough at this game to do, but those are also things you could do if you really want to. Anyway, starting to take damage again, so I'll take an Agni, a Gosara Agni combo. Let's see, I do have two other arts that I can use if, in hopes of getting myself a cockpit mode. Alright, it activated Regenerate. It's invincible again, okay. Are you going back into the air? You're going back into the air, okay. We've made it to phase 3, we've skipped the part that I was most scared about, believe it or not. Because it's now about to go into the air, and it won't use its non-ether attacks as much anymore, which is good. But once it gets all the way up there and stops being invincible. Also, why is my overdrive actually being extended? Alright, it's activating the signature ability of the Telethia race, Soul Read. And using that to gain a huge decoy boost. Oh, yeah, it does still have the other attacks, but it won't use them as much, and, well, once I eat up the decoy, I'll be in a much better position in general. I don't remember what it is. I want to say it's 50, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I am going to use Avatar Missile since it is a ranged attack. But the instant I start... Okay, Massive Tear. If I wasn't super ether resistant, this would be a huge deal. Got HP recovery down, which hopefully won't be a big issue. And I do like it when Sedative Mind misses because that gives me a better chance of not getting murdered by Collider, as well as it gives it less time to regen. But let's see. Agni Gatling is a huge multi-hit attack, so it's good to use to burn the decoy. I really wish I knew the number of decoy it had. It's also got Break All, which I believe hurts every appendage at once. Alright. I have the Sagasora cannon ready. The instant... Alright. If you Collider again... yeah, it likes the Sedative Mind Collider combo, which is bad, because I might be dying now. Alright, I got really close this time. I know exactly what to do, I just need to let it happen.
Good. Now get in there. Need Gatling. Aghasura cannon. You're a big target. Just concentrate your fire. Need Gatling. Avatar missile.
Alright, so I think the secret is to get a cockpit mode during this phase before it becomes invincible, because a second Aghasura cannon during overdrive should do it in. I think that was the issue I was having. So, unfortunately, that means it's down to luck, but fortunately I know exactly what I need to do to beat it, even without having to deal with ridiculous Phase 3 stuff. I did look it up. It turns out the amount of decoy hits it gains immunity to are directly based on the amount of hits you hit it with, presumably earlier in the fight, which kind of makes sense. It's so you don't stack Skell super weapons. I believe decoy's up. Yep, okay. So, yeah, that means gonna have to spam everything that's not called Aghasura cannon, basically, to burn through the decoy as quickly as possible. And hope I avoid Sedative Mind a couple times, because that would be very helpful as well. Maybe, I don't know if it has a specific pattern or anything, so I could also hope it just doesn't, or it follows a different pattern. It's been spamming Ether Shot so far. And I do know that once the decoy is gotten rid of, it will... There's Sedative Mind. Once the decoy is gone, it will gain an Enrage aura, which basically means big damage. Massive damage. I'm not sure exactly by how much it increases its stats, but it will vastly increase the amount of damage it can put out, and you don't want that. You just don't want that at all. Also getting a lot of Moranium, so I can refuel the Ares anytime I want to, which is good to have. Alright, still missing. Still sleeping, okay. Alright. If I can survive the shock, might actually be okay if I can make it through the shock, which doesn't look like I will. Until I did, okay. Got a cockpit, so I'm gonna Agni. That starts causing damage numbers to pop up, which of course it doesn't. Okay. Did Sedative Mind again, but it missed. Okay. Multi-ether laser. That sounds powerful. I'm not sure what it does, though. Okay, it's just a bunch of ones. That's good. There's Storm. Okay. Still missing everything. I wonder if there was a different strat I used a different time that caused it to, like, not get as big a decoy. Because, like, having less decoy to burn through would make this whole thing a whole lot easier. But, I don't know. Still missing. Oh, wait, I saw damage numbers. Okay. It just used Telethia Rage. It's truly most dangerous art. But only dangerous to me, really, if it starts using non-ether attacks. So I basically have to wait out until I can get another 2 Agnis and Aghasura. I believe Agni has half the charge-up time as Aghasura does, so at this point it's just stand here, pray it doesn't do anything that's not ether-based. Which, okay, did Sedative Mind. It did put me to sleep. That's not good. Did Collider, that's gonna kill me. Actually, that didn't kill me. So I can live through the shock. If I can get a cockpit, I win. Let's see. Break all. Okay, that's actually going to miss completely, surprisingly. Was I slow artsed? So if I was slow arts, that could be bad. Doesn't look like I was, but it looks like Maybe Agni's 30? Avatar... Okay, now I'm screwed because it slept me again. Oh, wait. It didn't sleep me. I don't know what's going on right now. But I'm not dying, which is good. That's all I know. I wish that I would get these QTEs correct more often, though. And I guess I never broke the right wing, which is like the one appendage that I was breaking every time before. I don't know. Alright, Sedative Mind keeps missing, that's good. Vajra Flail's actually hitting, surprisingly. But... getting very close to another Agasaur Cannon. Since I haven't been put to sleep, it hasn't been doing any of the Shocky shenanigans. Yeah, Ether Storm's not going to do too much. Alright. Is it time? I don't know if it's time yet, but... yes, it is! Humanity has won its right to rule Mira. We get Reflect, add Ether. That's basically the equivalent of Reflect Ether Augment, but for Skells. Infinite Telethia Pen, Telethia Mirror. And another of those two from the wing. While it might not be considered the overall hardest enemy to fight, that was the strongest enemy in Xenoblade Chronicles X. And I think there's no higher note that I could possibly end this Let's Play off on. So, that's it for the adventures of this character on the planet of Mira. And finally, after long over a year, I'm finally done with my first Let's Play on the Luxin channel. I do have another one planned, so look forward to that or at least an announcement for that, in just a couple days. Not a couple, more like a few. And you'll see that uploaded regularly. And of course, I'm doing other Xenoblade stuff, so you're not gonna... this isn't the end of this game. But, in the future, I do want to, assuming Chega Conroy doesn't do it, do a full 100% true guide Let's Play for this game, as opposed to this one, which is just me playing through the game again and reliving some of my favorite memories while making some new ones. So, it's going to be years upon years from now, but that is something that I do want to do at some point in the future. And until next video, no matter what series it is, thank you for watching this entire series. If you haven't watched this entire series, go back to the beginning and do it. But, thank you for watching, as always. And as always, until next time, this is Luxin, signing off.